Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message and I want to ask you all a simple question. Who do you defend in private? Do you defend people that you consider a friend? Do you defend certain family members? Do you defend people that you just respect? They are not related to you. You don't label them a friend, but you respect them. You respect and like how they carry themselves. You may trust them to a certain extent. You value their outlook on things. You value their opinion when it comes to certain situations that you bring to them. You trust them enough to where if they make a suggestion to you, or they tell you certain things, or even if they come to you with correction, you just respect that about them and you trust them when it comes to having conversations and confiding in them about various things. The reason why I'm making this video message is because I want you all to get back to a place. If you are not already at the place now, get back to a place where you all stop being cowards and learn to defend people. Learn to defend the honor of people, even in the midst of other people dishonoring them. You are always going to come across people who dishonor somebody that you love, that you like, that you respect, or it could even be somebody that you're attracted to. And you have to understand that when you are in the presence of people, or when you are in the presence of someone who is very casual and comfortable about bad mouthing, speaking against, slandering, or outright creating and starting a very nasty, ugly rumor about somebody. People tend to continuously do this when you don't correct them, or when you don't defend the person that they are talking about. Now, let me break a couple of things down here. The first thing I want to say is this: a lot of people become a coward, or they remain silent in the presence of someone who is bad mouthing someone else because they don't want conflict. A lot of people, I've said this before and I stand 10 toes down when I say this. A lot of people, they don't like conflict. They feel like if they get in a situation where there's conflict, that it may cost them a level of safety. They feel like, okay, it's going to put me in a position where I'm arguing with somebody, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to possibly get into a verbal altercation or a physical altercation with someone, or I don't want to rub this person the wrong way because I'm correcting them on one of my friends, or as far as one of my friends or loved ones go, and I don't want to disturb whatever connection I personally have with them, so I'm going to remain silent. But I am here to tell you all, you have to set a boundary with everybody that you interact with, because people will only do what you allow them to do. People will continue to conduct themselves a certain way when you allow them to, and the more that you allow certain calibers of people to speak against people that they know you love, they know you like them. They know, maybe, like I said, you might be a single man or woman and you have your eye on somebody in particular. And it's somebody, whether they a hater or, they jealous or whatever they got going on. They may be speaking against that person that you're attracted to. I want you all to know, people get comfortable talking about and speaking against and slandering certain people in your presence because you don't check them, because you don't correct them. And when you are silent in the face of evil, when you are silent in the face of disrespect for people you're connected to, when you are silent in the midst of ignorance and dishonor, people will continue to do it because they take it as an indication that you don't have a problem with it. They take it as an indication that you are comfortable with it. They may take it as an indication that you might be in agreement with it. Even if you don't say anything, secretly they may feel like inside, although you're not verbally saying you're in agreement with it, you're not correcting them, you're sitting back taking it all in, so you are in agreement with it. I know this may be difficult for a lot of people, but I'm going to keep it 100 with you all. All of us have been guilty of not defending somebody at some point or another in our life. We are guilty of this, whether it was somebody speaking against your mother, maybe when you were younger, or maybe when you got up in age, maybe you were a teenager, maybe you became a young adult and you heard somebody speaking against your mom. And so because you probably were raised to not disrespect an elder, you didn't say anything. You may have gone back and told your mother, you may have gone back and told your father what somebody said about them, especially if it was another family member, and you left it alone. And you just knew that it was going to kick something off if you opened up your mouth, because sometimes when you're correcting somebody as a child or a teenager or even a young adult, they will be so appalled that you had the guts and the gall to even correct them on something. They will twist it around, and some of these overgrown people, they will exaggerate what you say to them. You could have said something simple like, you know what, don't talk bad about my mom. Don't disrespect my father. You know, that's my mother. I don't feel comfortable with you speaking on her. And they will get so offended by that, because their attitude will be like, and it comes from a place of arrogance. They'll feel like, how dare this child say something to me? You could be 21 years old, but there are some people that's up in age in their 40s and 50s, and they'll still look at you like you're a child. And so we've been guilty of it. Some of us have been in a situation where maybe we were a friend to somebody, or it was somebody we loved, or it was somebody we liked, or it was somebody that we highly respected, but we were caught off guard. And so if you went to an engagement, maybe you were in the house of God, maybe you were in the workplace, and it's somebody you dig them, you're cool with them, and you were caught off guard because whoever the person or the people were, you all were talking about one thing. You may have been talking about the sky being green. You may have been talking about some good food you were about to cook or go and get when you guys clocked out. And so it caught you off guard because they may have just randomly brought up a person's name and started talking about them. And so sometimes when you are caught off guard, you trying to process, why is this happening? And so in cases like that, I don't want to necessarily call anybody out on that, because myself and probably all of you all that is watching this video message, like I said, you have been guilty of it. But I am a true believer in this. As you become older, as you grow in Jesus Christ, as you become more confident, as you become more wiser, and after you've gone through many trials and a lot of error, and you've made a lot of mistakes, your character, even through you being humble for different reasons and different situations by the hand of Jesus Christ, I'm here to tell you, you learn that it builds character. And one way that your character is built is through you defending the people that you love. You don't ever in life, I am here to tell you, you don't ever in life sit in the presence of anybody that's dogging out your mother, that's dogging out your father, that's dogging out a sibling, that's dogging out somebody that you're dating, because they are a representation of you. So how dare you sit in the presence of somebody that is bad mouthing somebody that you have on your arm? And see, you guys, well, I'll say I'll just put myself in this as well. You all have got to we have got to get out of this place of feeling like or believing that people are going to be people and people have the right to their opinion. And we have to stop being so comfortable with the fact that although somebody may have been in our presence and they are bad mouthing somebody, even if it's a little bit of truth to it or a lot of truth to it, it still does not give people the right to dog that person out, because all of us are still evolving, we are still growing, we are still works in progress. And what you've got to know is that when you sit there and people, every time you come in contact with them, they are bad mouthing and speaking against. Let me tell you all something. Speaking against somebody is a very serious thing. Speaking against somebody is a very serious thing, especially when it's somebody that is very, very close to you. Do you know it's people out here that will sit in the presence of people and they will dog out their child? I've seen it. I've experienced it. coming up, our parents will sit in the presence of maybe neighbors, maybe certain family members. Because remember, our parents, they have, well, both of my parents are deceased, but they had siblings, they have, friends. And when they share, this is why you have to be careful sharing certain things about your children, about your husband, about your wife, about your BFF, about somebody that you dig them, you like them. You gotta be careful who you're having conversations with, because when you go to somebody and it's the wrong person that you're confiding in and you're complaining about them, and you are uncovering and exposing ugly sides of them, other people's perception may not be at the level yours is. See, their heart is not built up the way yours is towards that person or those people they are speaking on or speaking against. I need you all to really understand this. You gotta understand, you may love that person to the death of you. You may love that person so deep to the core of your soul. You may love somebody so much they make you cry at the thought of them, at the thought of losing them. And so when somebody else is speaking against them or speaking on them, and you sit there and you allow it, you got to understand that that person is casual and comfortable talking about them and speaking against them, because their heart towards that person or those people is not at the level yours is towards that person or those people. They don't love them the way that you do. However, if you look somebody in the eye, I'm here to tell you, if we are looking somebody in the eye, we are telling them, you my girl, you're my BFF, you are my man and I love you. Fellas, you tell that woman, I love you, you my girl, I can see you as my wife. You telling friends, I got your back, I'm there for you, I would never hurt you, I'm not out to break your heart, I have your best interests at heart. We need to start acting like it. I'm not saying go out here and be ready to throw paws. I'm not saying be ready to choke somebody out. I'm not saying get a bottle and you busting it over somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying act like that. But there is a way that you can be a man or a woman with class and grace. You can be very mild-mannered and still bring correction and rebuke to another person that is speaking ill of the people or the person that you love. You never allow anybody to be comfortable and casual speaking against somebody. And then you've got to check yourself, because you may have had a vulnerable moment with a friend, with a loved one, with a spouse, with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, fiance, whoever, whatever title this person holds or these people hold in your life. You may have, as a human being, you may have had a vulnerable moment where you all were bumping heads. You all were getting into it behind the scenes. You all were arguing. You all were not in agreement with some things. Some things kicked off. And so we all want somebody to talk to. We all want somebody that we can confide in. However, when it's the wrong person who is not mature, they don't have the spirit of the living God in them, they are rude, they are ignorant, they are volatile, they are ghetto, they are uncouth, you've got to take that in account. Because when you share certain things with people about somebody else, they, like I said a few moments ago, their heart is not built up towards that person the way yours is. But you got to understand too, the flip side of it is that person that's speaking against that person, they feel a certain way about you. They may not love and care about the person they're speaking against and speaking on and slandering and gossiping about, and they betraying them and doing little underhanded crap to them, but they may feel a way about you. We've all had somebody that they feel us. They're digging us. They love us. And so we can go to somebody and tell them something about our child. We can go to somebody and tell them about a parent. We can go to somebody and tell them about an aunt or an uncle or certain cousins. And because they love us, because they respect us, because they have our best interests at heart, they will go in on that person you confided in them about, because they're sensitive about you. They don't play about you. So it's kind of like a slippery slope when it comes to this. But you have to learn how to set boundaries. Start correcting people. Start checking people. Start going to people in love. Let them know. Parents, don't badmouth your children in front of your brothers and sisters or cousins in the family. Because when those cousins, if they get up in age, they will casually and comfortably disrespect your children. They will look down on your children. This is a lot of what goes on in my family. There are a lot of very rude, ignorant, and disrespectful, volatile, ghetto, ignorant cousins. Yes, I'm saying it. I could care less about who feels what. See, I'm very bold and I have to expose this because I get tired of seeing it. Cousins are very casual. They will betray you. They will be underhanded. They will tell lies on you, and other people in the family don't want to correct them. You know what a lot of families do? Because I know I'm not the only one that goes through this and that sees this in family. You know what a lot of family members would do, especially elders? Oh, well, y'all are cousins. Y'all need to love each other. Y'all need to stop with all that mess. Y'all need to get along. It don't make no sense. Y'all too old. It's always y'all. No auntie, no uncle, no grandma, no granddad, no big cuz, no little cuz. Whoever you are, you need to check that cousin and let them know, okay, listen, we're all flesh and blood related, but you're talking bad about this cousin, and I guess you want me to pick a side. I guess you want me to be in agreement with you and dog out this other cousin when all of us are blood related. You've got to stop bad mouthing them. Oh, I heard you did this particular thing to cuz. Why did you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you double cross them? Why would you sleep with cuz husband? Why would you sleep with cuz boyfriend? Why would you sleep with cuz wife? Why would you tell that lie? Why would you bring cuz in court and tell this lie because you got pissed off at them? Why would you use against this cousin a failure in their life or a point where they were vulnerable and they were doing bad? Cuz, why would you kick them while they were down? See, you all have to be direct with people like this, but families always whitewash situations. This is why within families there are cliques, and I'm going to get bolder and bolder with these weighty matters because I'm tired of seeing it since childhood. People picking and choosing who they want to like in family, who they want to respect, who they want to hang out with. Now, don't get me wrong. Nobody's crying tears about it. I hope you all are not crying, because I'm not. I hope you're not crying about certain cousins that don't like you. They don't want to be around you. They don't respect you. That's going to happen. However, you need to start defending other family members, especially when you were not there to see what kicked off, but you just hear that one cousin's side of their story. If you didn't see the proof, if you didn't see the evidence, if you were not there front row seats to see what the double cross was, what the betrayal was, what the fight was about, whether it was verbal or physical, you need to check that and correct that cousin, that auntie, that uncle, that grandma. You don't allow it. This is how things are grown in the dark. People will plant seeds in your bloodline. Friends will go to other friends and plant seeds. What happens in the dark? What happens under dirt? Things grow. Things manifest. Things evolve from the root. You've got to get to the root of it. And so, all I'm saying to you guys, with 100% respect, honor, and love to all of you beautiful brothers and sisters, start defending people that you love and that you care about. And don't think that because you're correcting somebody softly and respectfully, that means you cannot continue your relationship with them. See, when somebody loves you and when somebody says that they care about you, it doesn't matter what you say to them that makes them feel uncomfortable. If they cut you off after you softly and gently correct them, or you confront them about bad mouthing somebody or whatever it is they're doing, then they were not for you. You all need to understand that. Nothing should end pure friendships because you bring to the forefront something they were doing that hurt you or something that offended you. I need you all to know this. And let me say this before I close out. When you correct and check somebody for bad mouthing somebody that's connected to you and that you love behind their back, it does not always warrant for you to go and tell the person, well, you know, I was at a barbecue. Well, you know, I was at work. Well, you know, I came across so-and-so and they was really speaking against you and they were bad mouthing you. And girl, I had to check them. I had to let them know, you know, I don't play about you. Because a lot of times when people take that angle, it's fake, it's phony, they're a liar. And so you don't have anything to prove because God will see what you do in secret, okay? You'll get rewarded openly for certain things. And when you begin to get into the habit of taking up for people and you defend their honor, even if they're a mess, let me just say that. Even when somebody is a mess and they are not perfect, I'm not saying don't hold people accountable. I'm not saying don't hold people responsible. But you don't allow anybody to kick somebody that's connected to you, that is a part of you, that is your flesh and blood, somebody that you're dating, somebody that you are proud to call them friend. You are proud to call them your wife, your husband. You are proud to say, God bless my womb and I gave birth to this child, this beautiful son of mine, this beautiful daughter of mine, these beautiful children. You don't allow anybody to be comfortable and casual. And so what I'm saying to you all is that you really got to understand that when you start correcting people, they will no longer be comfortable always bringing up that person's name, bad-mouthing them. I remember in my lifetime, I've gone to certain people who would sit comfortably in the presence of certain people while they would badmouth me. Even, and again, God rest my mother and father's beautiful soul. I would have to confront my mother and father about certain incidents where they will allow certain aunties and uncles and certain cousins to speak bad of me because they would confide in them about something I did in our household. And so when I would come in contact with these cousins, they wouldn't have respect. They would fly off and say certain things. They would be mocking me. They would be laughing. Very nasty. It's wicked work. It's nasty work. I'ma just say it. And so I had to start going to my mother and father and saying, they're only comfortable saying these things to me and treating me this way because you went and revealed to them a mistake I made as a child. I'm not together in every area, but you comfortably sat in the presence of these people, even with coworkers, even with church members, whoever. You talked about me or you said certain things. And so I am here in this video message with no embarrassment, with no shame. I know who I am under the umbrella of God. I am here to do many things, but one of the things is to bring healing, is to expose the enemy in these state of affairs, in these serious, weighty state of affairs. And so I say to you all with all boldness, all courage, and all confidence, and love and respect and admiration of you all, actually, start correcting people. Because as you begin to do this, they will no longer be comfortable and casual and free and open to speak against and spread rumors and slander the character of the person or the people that you love, that you respect, or that you gave birth to. That is the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.